Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today I wanted to talk to you about just an absolutely beautiful film that I really just had a blast watching, and I want to talk about Dungeons and Dragons in context to it, and that is the film Flora and Son. And I wanted to talk about understanding the table experience, right, and how we know when we are honoring Gary Gygax's legacy and doing it right. Right. So let's get into this. So first of all, if you haven't seen the film Sing Street, you need to see that film immediately. As you know, we as dungeon masters need to understand music at a deep level, right? And the reason why is we have bards that we need to run as player characters, right? So Sing Street is one of the most brilliant movies on music that's ever been made, and the creator of Sing Street has recently made a new film called Flora and Son, and it is equally. Is it as good as Sing Street? It's different than Sing Street, and I would say both films are worthy of you watching them. And I want to talk today about Flora and Son. Spoilers for Flora and Son here. So, Flora and Son is about a mother, a single mother who's struggling to raise, kind of a really, to raise. He's not a bad son. He's a son who does bad behavior, and the reason he does bad behavior is because his mother and his father divorced. Um, Divorce is abominable, and cuts the heart in half of every child who ever witnesses it. And this kid is no different, right? So, so basically, in the film, this single mother begins to learn how to play guitar, right? And it's just something for her because she's under incredible strain trying to control this son of hers because he won't obey and do anything right because the parents didn't obey or do anything right? They're like, they promised to love one another, they broke that promise and shattered shattered each of their own worlds and their child's world, right? So like the kid is acting out because his parents suck. Like that's just the story of the movie, right? So, but this woman is trying to get her life back in control, right? And trying to really kind of come back and do something significant with her life, right? So she starts taking lessons with so she's in Dublin, Ireland, and she starts taking lessons from a man named Jeff, who is an acoustic guitar teacher from Los Angeles who teaches people online, right? And she pays $20 for a half an hour session, and I think she takes like 2 or 3 a week, right? And so she and Jeff are learning to play guitar together. She's learning to play the guitar from Jeff, and Jeff is hyper attenuated to music. He is hyper connected to music. His life is music, right? And so he's trying to give this powerful tool to her, right? And she's trying to understand the music, and so basically every time their class starts, the two of them, they just show Jeff on a laptop and they show the mom in Dublin, Ireland. But then there's a point in the lesson where Jeff will connect with Flora, and he'll actually be able to say, hey, here's some incredibly key piece of information about music, and this is how you do music, and this is how you make music matter, right? And at that point, the director of the film just puts Jeff in the room with her, sitting there. They're not divided. They're not thousands of miles away. Jeff is simply there, sitting in the seat across, right? And the worlds merge, right? And Flora is no longer Flora is no longer separated from Jeff, and Jeff is no longer separated from Flora, right? And it's done so effortlessly and so beautifully in the film that the moment I saw it, I thought of Dungeons and Dragons done right, right? Dungeons and Dragons, you're running Book of Many Things, right? And the adventure from there, right? But you use the stories from the ideas, you have the gold cards out, everybody's got their character sheets. But there's a moment, right, where one of the players says something really profound, and the dungeon master's reaction is truly profound, and the table just melts away, right? And you're no longer really speaking as dungeon performer to dungeon master. The table is gone and you're just there, right? In the glade, in in the glade 3 miles south of Waterdeep, right? And you're just there. It melts away and you're just there, right? There's no division. There's no division between the real world and the world that you are presenting as a dungeon master, and that you are also presenting as a dungeon performer, right? Great tables, the world is presented by everyone at the table, right? And I cannot recommend Flora and Sons highly enough to you, but if you are a dungeon master who has ever been in this position where the real world melted away and all you can see is the glade, 3 miles south of Waterdeep, and all you hear are the player character's dialogue, and the sodas and the chips and the New Jersey accent, and the Philadelphia accent meld away, and all you hear is a dragonborn rogue talking to a turtle wizard, right? That's what I'm talking about. And it's just so beautifully depicted in Flora and Son. And I've been there. And I think some of you have been there. And maybe you're here and you haven't been here that long, right? And you're like, what are you talking about, Scott Garibay? And what I'm talking about is this man, Gary Gygax, he built an identity engine and an achievement engine in 1974, and he called it a game. And fools today still believe it's a game. But second path humans understand exactly what it is, right? And if you've never been here, if you've never seen this world melt away and the real world emerge, you need to strive for it, right? And the reason why we're talking about it today is I've just never seen it depicted as beautifully as in Flora and Son. And I was there this Saturday. I ran a game where it really melded away, right? And but I want it for you this Saturday. And some of you, I know you're doing it. I know, Mike H, I know you've been here, right? And I want this for each and every one of you. Thanks for letting me share this with you. And go check out Flora and Son. And I'd love to hear in the comments below, have you been here? Do you know what I'm talking about? Have you had this moment, right? Where this world melts away and the real world is there? I'd love to hear your stories. Let me know in the comments below. Please consider liking and subscribing, and have a wonderful millennium.